Hello and welcome to Anthony's Adventures. My name is Anthony and I want to thank you for tuning in. Today is episode number 3 of our tiny boat build. Today's episode we are going to go over everything that it took to make the subfloor in this boat, and what worked, what didn't work, and what you should not do. Alright, so I'm working on getting my bracing for the subfloor in there. I'm going to kind of zoom in on what I'm doing so that way you guys can see what I am doing. I'm basically going to put this bracing back. I did do something smart. I did number. So that was something that I did, is I numbered. And that way I know what is what. Alright. And then I'm going to take one of these bracings and I'm going to put it on here. So that none of it is above. And I'm going to mark with a Sharpie underneath it. And kind of around it, so I know where I need to go. Because what I don't want is this to be above that when I make my hole. And you'll see what I'm talking about here in a second. Because what I'm going to do. So I got these brackets from Lowe's. They worked really well in attaching the subfloor frame to the boat. I tried to originally drill holes holding them with a pair of pliers and about took my fingers off. So I figured since I had some scrap wood left over, I screwed the brackets to the scrap wood and I was able to drill my hole in the middle of the bracket, which worked out really well, and all my fingers are still intact. Look of it. I put the screw in right there and I riveted it underneath here on the bottom. I alternated. So that side does not have a screw, because if you do, it's going to be really low where it's at. And as you can see, I'm lifting the boat up with that. So I'm pretty happy that I'm able to lift the boat up with that. It tells me that it's pretty well sturdily in there. And, you know, I'm not planning on moving this floor around, so I want to make sure that everything is stable. And this just gives it more of a stability factor. The other thing too I wanted to make sure is nothing went across here, so that lip or that lip didn't go across here. The first ones that I did have to grind the edges down there and there, and same thing on the other side. I had to grind those edges down over there, just because I didn't get my method down. So I did one before I showed you guys. So that's how I did this. In every screw, as you can kind of see, the silicone, I put silicone on top, or in the hole, the screw hole, and then I screw the screw in, and then that will hopefully seal that up. All of this wood is fiberglass. So, and I'm also going to do another coat over all of this after I get everything screwed down. Okay, so I just got everything set up for tomorrow, so when I get home from work I can get working on the boat. Basically I laid all the supports, as I call them, for the subfloor out, and they're kind of in their perspective places, so I can go right down all the way down to the front there. I do have these 3 done, and I've shown you in another video, but they're secured so good that you can lift the boat up one hand. You see me moving it, okay? So that was my goal, that I wanted them secured that well. Now, these gussets, okay, right here, you have to be very careful when you're drilling into this, and that's why I wanted to go more towards the middle, okay, when I'm drilling, because there's more of it there instead of on either side. Because what happened is in this one I drilled through, but The problem is, sorry about that, I didn't mean to bump myself. You can see right there, I also drilled through the bottom of the boat. So I'm gonna have some boat repair that I have to do. All right, so be very, very careful. That's why I was saying with the brackets, kind of drill in spurts and not try to rush through, because you don't want any holes in the bottom of the boat, which I did. I can fix that. I'm not too terribly concerned, but I still don't like it. So just be very careful when you're doing that in your boat, because you don't want to have to do extra steps. So my goal was to make this as waterproof as possible. So on the subfloor and the subfloor framing, I did 3 coats of fiberglass resin on each side and on the ends, because I wanted to make sure that I got it as waterproof as possible. Also, whenever I drilled a hole or put a screw in or a bolt in, I put silicone in the hole and then also around the screw or the bolt, and I screwed or bolted it back into the frame because I wanted to make it as watertight as possible. I used 7/16 plywood. I did not use a stencil. I took a jigsaw and I cut it down until it fit, like this picture here. This is also what the fiberglass resin looks like on the subfloor itself. This is, I think, the second coat that I put on, and then this is the carpet that I put on, and I don't have the foam underneath it, but I think that the carpet turned out really well. So I hope that this video was helpful for you. I wanted to share with you what worked for me as far as building the subfloor and why I built it the way that I did. There are a lot of videos on different subfloors out there. You know, there's ones for flat bottom boats and specifically V-hull boats. A lot of the V-hull boats, though, I have noticed they have a channel that kind of goes from the front all the way to the back for the water to drain. Mine just has the gussets, and it has to rely on the water to go underneath the gusset, which frequently gets clogged. So I wanted to make sure that I had a channel that would go down, and that way the water could move towards the back of the boat underneath the subfloor. Okay, and that's one of the things that I wanted to share with you, and you know, kind of give you guys some ideas on, you know, what that looked like and why I kind of did things the way that I did. Now, I also wanted to share with you, you know, what you should not do, like put a hole in the bottom of your boat, because then you have to get these lovely brazing rods out and fix that hole, which is no fun. Yes, you get to play with fire, but you also mess up some things inside your boat, like that you've already painted, and you have to go back and sand and repaint again. So rather than having to go through and mess that up, I wanted to share this with you in hopes that I gave you some good ideas of what to do and what not to do. Like I said before, I am a novice boat builder. This is my first tiny boat, so you know, I know that there's going to be some things that a lot of you guys out there will pick apart and say you should have done this and this and this. You know, like I've been saying all along, do your research. You know, look at the different video content that's out there. You know, there's a lot of great boat builders out there, like Tiny Boat Nation, Michael Lopez, Anthony Jones, and Fire Ant Fishing, and there's a lot more. Those are the ones that I most frequently, you know, look at their content. But look at their videos, and you know, they'll show you, you know, what's worked for them, and they're a lot more detail oriented than I am. But you know, I would suggest that you look at their social media pages, whether it be YouTube, Facebook, those different types of things, so you can get your ideas, because every tiny boat's a little bit different. Mine is, you know, so I just wanted to kind of bring this video to you guys. Hopefully you like it. If you do, hit that like button, also the subscribe button down there if you would subscribe for me, and then there's a notification bell somewhere down in there. If you click on that, you will be notified of the next video coming out, which will be the foam video. That should be interesting, so hit that notification bell and you'll be able to see when that comes out. And guys, you know, life is short, so love the ones that are around you, make as many memories as you possibly can, and enjoy life to its fullest. And I hope that you have a wonderful evening and have a good night.